All right, so let's talk some more about harm. What is harm? When do we know it's happening? Is there worse forms of harm than others? Now, the killing versus the letting die distinction is really grounded in the distinction between doing and allowing harm, right? But harm is typically defined as follows. Harm means making someone worse off than they otherwise would have been. So I harm you when my fist makes contact with your face. You are physically being harmed. You are harmed when I tell you something that's emotionally or verbally offensive, which is harming your spirit, your essence. Now, killing usually harms the victim. It makes the victim worse off by taking all of the positive value of their future away from them. But euthanasia is a special case of killing, right? Because arguably, relieving a terminally ill patient of intense suffering does not make her worse off than she otherwise would have been. We might even think that it might make her better off, in which case active euthanasia is really a benefit rather than a harm, right? We're not making someone worse off by taking away their life. We're, in theory, making them better off by taking away their life, thereby removing the amount of suffering that they are experiencing. And this is why we think it is permissible, or maybe in some cases obligatory, to put down an animal that is suffering, to put it out of its misery. So you might put your dog to sleep at the vet. We do it to relieve suffering. We see this as a good deed. Only a monster would allow a dying dog who is in extreme pain and no longer able to move or to eat or drink to lie there for days, suffering and dying of hunger and dehydration and illness. Similarly, if all a human patient has to look forward to is suffering, it would actually be beneficial to them to end their life sooner. So, in short, the moral distinction between doing harm and allowing harm does not even apply to euthanasia, right? For the simple reason that euthanasia is not doing harm.